Good morning, students. We have seen in the previous class the structure of the DNA, composition, various components of the DNA, how they are arranged, what are the functions of the DNA, and what is central dogma of molecular biology. Central dogma of molecular biology, where the information from the DNA is passed to the RNA. From the RNA, the information is passed to the proteins or polypeptide chains. So the flow of information is always unidirectional. From the DNA to RNA, RNA to proteins or polypeptide chains. Later we have discussed some organisms like retroviruses. The central dogma is considered as reverse central dogma. Central dogma reverse. It is because of a process called reverse transcription, which was discovered independently by Temin and Baltimore. And Temin and Baltimore, they suggested that DNA is formed from RNA by a process called reverse transcription. They have discovered reverse transcriptase enzyme. Reverse transcriptase enzyme, which is responsible for formation of DNA from the RNA. RNA is considered as template on which DNA is produced, and DNA can show its duplication or replication. Again, it will form RNA and RNA to proteins. So this is called reverse transcription or Teminism. And the helping hand of this Teminism discovery is, it is useful in identifying the structural process of cancer cell formation, cancer cell growth, and how to treat cancer cells. And for this work in 1970, they got Nobel Prize for the discovery of reverse transcriptase enzyme, reverse transcription process, Nobel Prize. After that, packaging of DNA. DNA packaging or packaging of DNA, it means, as we have studied, length of the DNA can be measured by the number of nucleotides present in it or number of base pairs present in the DNA. So length of DNA molecule we can measure by counting the total number of nucleotides or the total number of base pairs in the DNA. How? By counting the distance between every two nucleotides. So according to Watson and Crick, the distance between every two nucleotides in the DNA molecule, this is one nucleotide, sugar phosphate, N2 base, another nucleotide, sugar phosphate, N2 base. The distance is 0.34 nanometers. 0.34 nanometers is equal to 1/billionth of a meter. So into 10 to the power of 9 meter base pairs. So by counting the distance and the total number of nucleotides are base pairs. That is, for example, in mammalian cell or diploid cell of human being, mammalian cell or diploid cell of human being, 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs, 0.34 into 10 to the power of 9 meters base pair. If we count by counting the total number of base pairs in the human, that is 6.6. Haploid set is 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9. So diploid, mammalian diploid cell, 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9 into the distance between every two nucleotides. The distance between every two nucleotides, that is 0.34 into 10 to the power of 9. If we count, it will give approximately 2.2 meters length of DNA in a human cell. So this DNA, 2.2 meters, approximately more than 6 feet. 2.2 meters length of DNA in a human cell, diploid cell. How we are able to count the length of the DNA? By total number of nucleotides or base pairs present into the distance between every two nucleotides. And we are able to get this 2.2 meters length. 2.2 meters length means present in the nucleus. Nucleus is present in the cell, and cell is, so when we see into the size of the nucleus, 10 to the power of 6, it means in a small microscopic nucleus, this much of lengthy large DNA is arranged. How it is possible? So the size of the nucleus is at least 1 lakh times smaller than the length of the DNA. So the size of the nucleus is approximately 1 lakh times smaller than DNA. More than DNA, which is 2.2 meters length, it is found in a small nucleus. How? So how it is? It is packed. It is packed, compactly arranged. In the same way, compactly arranged by process of coiling, condensation, compactly arranged, and in the same way by counting the number of nucleotides in the Escherichia coli bacterial cell. In E. coli bacterial cell, as we have studied, 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. By counting the into 0.34 into 10 to the power of 9, it gives 1.36. So in the textbook they have given, if the length of the DNA is 1 point, how many base pairs are present? The base pairs present in the Escherichia coli are 4.6 into 10 to the power of. So this much large, very small nucleus here, we are not going to call it nucleus, nucleoid or genophore. How this much lengthy DNA molecule, which is thousands of times greater than the nucleus, complete surface area of the nucleus, how this much lengthy DNA is arranged. So this process of arrangement of long polymer of nucleotides DNA into small nucleus is called packaging of DNA. Packaging of DNA. And how this is possible? So packaging of DNA in prokaryotes. In prokaryotes, DNA packaging. In a prokaryotic cell, bacterial cell, this is bacterial cell. It is not having any double membrane bound cell organelles like eukaryotic cell. It consists of cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, there is no definite structure like nucleus with nuclear membrane. There is no definite structure like nucleus with nuclear membrane. That's why they are called prokaryotes. Even though there is no definite nucleus with nuclear membrane held up together, bound together, even though it is not having a definite nucleus, but the DNA is packed. DNA is packed around. DNA is packed around some non-histone proteins called proamines or polyamines. Proamines or polyamines, these are non-histone proteins which are present in the cytoplasm. These polyamines or non-histone proteins are having positive charges. These non-histone proteins are having positive charges. So these positive charges attract negatively charged DNA. Why DNA is negatively charged? Because phosphoric acid, H3PO4 minus, phosphoric acid is present. As and when acidic property is there, phosphoric acid is there, it gives negative charge to the DNA. So negatively charged DNA is wrapped around the positively charged polyamines or proamines, and that's why they were not scattered freely in the cytoplasm. Attract negatively charged DNA, and DNA bound with these and forms a structure called nucleoid. Nucleoid. What is nucleoid? Nucleoid is the name given to the DNA present in the cytoplasm of a bacterial cell. Bacterial cell. DNA packed around non-histone proteins. Nucleoid, it is also called genophore. prochromosome. Naked DNA, bacterial chromosome, bacterial DNA, incipient so many other names are there. We will see them in the coming classes. Negatively charged DNA, and DNA bound with these forms a structure called nucleoid. So in the NCERT textbook, they will give this sentence. Even though the bacteria is not having a definite nucleus with a membrane, where if it is having a definite nucleus and membrane, DNA will present inside the nucleus. So according to them, it is scattered, it should be scattered, but even though nucleus is not there, it is not scattered freely. Why DNA in bacterial cells is not scattered freely? Because DNA in bacterial cells is not scattered freely because it bound to, because of its negative charge, it is bound to positively charged proamines or polyamines which are present in the cytoplasm. So DNA in bacterial cells is not freely scattered, not scattered. Prokaryotic DNA packaging. Then, so the method of DNA packaging in prokaryotes is simple and easiest method, whereas DNA packaging in eukaryotes, eukaryotic cells, DNA packaging, a complex process to understand, to study. How it is a complex process to understand or to study? In eukaryotes, DNA packaging is a complex because in eukaryotes, nucleus is present, is having nuclear envelope, nuclear membrane. Inside this nucleus, normally nucleoplasm is present. This nucleoplasm at the time of cell divisions appears like fibers. These fibers are called chromatin. Fibers are net-like fibers, chromatin reticulum. Chromatin reticulum. Reticulum means always net-like. So when we see in the microscope, under the microscope, a cell in the nucleus, this chromatin reticulum appears like beaded structure. Beads on a string. So these are called beads, knob-like structure, node-like structures on a string. So chromatin reticulum is having beads on a string, appears like. Then question comes, what is this chromatin reticulum? What are these beads on string? After some time, when cell division proceeds, it shows so many stages. prophase, metaphase, and so during prophase and metaphase, these chromatin reticulum completely packed or condensed, packed, compactly arranged to form structures called chromosomes. So to study chromosomes clearly, the structure of chromosome, metaphasic chromosomes are the best example. Metaphasic, in the metaphase, the chromosomes are completely condensed. A metaphasic chromosome constitutes chromatin reticulum, gradually, finally, compactly arranged to form chromosomes at metaphase of cell division. So when we study metaphase of cell division of first PUC classes, earlier classes, a metaphasic chromosome consists of two chromatids attached to a centromere. Two chromatids. A metaphasic chromosome is made up of two chromatids. How this chromosome is made? It is made by these chromatin fibers, and these chromatin fibers are in the beginning appears like beads on a string, and finally they were arranged in such a way, completely folded, packed, compactly arranged in such a way to appear like chromosome with the two chromatids. Chromosome. This process of folding of such a large 2.2 meters of DNA in the form of a small chromosome is called packaging of DNA in eukaryotes. It is a complex process to understand how this is the concise nucleus, nucleoplasm, chromatin. The chromatin is beads like a string. Then question comes, what are these beads and what is this string? When question comes, what are these beads? What is this string? Then the answer is beads and strings are nothing but nucleosome and DNA. Beads on the string, eukaryotic DNA packaging process is complex. Let us see in eukaryotes, nucleosome. First proposed by Kornberg, and in various studies they have given different scientist names, Olins and Olins, Kornberg and Thomas, approximately, and the name nucleosome, the term nucleosome coined by Audet and friends, Audet et al. OUDETETAL, it all means a group of associates. What is this group? Audet scientist name with friends or colleagues. Audet et al. Given the term nucleosome. First it was discovered by Kornberg. Let us see this. What is this nucleosome? A nucleosome is made up of two basic structures. One is histone proteins. Another one is DNA. Histone proteins and DNA, these are the two components of a nucleosome. Histone proteins and DNA, these are the two components of nucleosome. What is this histone protein? Let us see here. Histone proteins are round globus structures which is called core. Core means main. Histone octamer. Octamer means in this core of histone proteins there are 4 pairs of histone proteins. 4 into 2, 8. Octamer. So histone proteins in the form of a core, it consists of 4 pairs is equal to 8 types of histone proteins, and that is the core of the nucleosome. Core of the nucleosome. Let us see this core of the nucleosome. Histone proteins H2A, H2B, H3, H4. In the diagram, we are able to see 4. H2A, H2B, H3, H4. But they were not 4, they were in the form of 4 pairs. H2A, this side, which is appearing, that side also H2A. H2A, a pair. H2B, this side appearing, other side also H2B, a pair. H3 this side and that side H3, a pair. A pair. So 4 pairs means 4 into 2, 8 histone proteins. Octamer is the core of the nucleosome, and the central part of these histone proteins, where they are joined together, is called a new body or nucleosomal body, where nucleosome core, where 8 histone proteins are joined together. What is a protein? Is made up of amino acids. Here, these histone proteins are having amino acids, basic amino acids like lysine and arginine. So histone proteins are rich in amino acids like lysine and arginine. Basic. So these arginine and lysine amino acids are having a structure so an amino acid is having a structure alkyl group RCH NH2COOH. At their side chains they were having positive charges. Amino acids, because of amino acids, positive charge is attributed to the histone proteins. So histone protein core is present in the center, and on the surface of these amino acids are arranged as side chains. Amino acids are present in the side chains of the histone, which are having positive charge. So whenever histone proteins with a core of 8 histone proteins with amino acids, and amino acid chains are on the surface of the histone proteins, which are having positive charge. Now our negatively charged DNA is attracted and fold upon, wrapped fold and wrapped on the and it was given 1/3/4 turn. It is going to fold that side, back side, and it comes here and that go that side and go out. So this is called a nucleosome where DNA is coming and folding its back and comes again, goes out. Or this is histone octamer, and this which is wrapped against is called DNA. DNA is negative charged, histone positively charged, and it is over the 8 histone octamer as the core, and outside when it is coming, it has to be adjusted in such a way by a protein which is called H1 protein. It is not in the core. It is found attached to the DNA but not in the core, outside the nucleosome, H1 protein. So here 4 different types: H2A, H2A, 2, H2B, 2, H3, 2, H4, 2, total 8, but 4 different types. H2A one type, H2B another type, H3 another type, H4, 4 different types, plus outside 1 here, that is H1. 5 different types of proteins are involved. 5 different, out of the 5 different types of proteins, 4 different types in the form of a core, in the form of 4 pairs are 8. Histone protein octamer is the core, having positive charges because of its amino acids. To these positive charges, our DNA is wrapped. Outside this H1. So H1 protein is responsible to fix, for example, whenever we are going to watch garlanding flowers, whenever we are preparing a flower garland, flowers will be taken and they are making a fold with the help of a thread. One flower, thread. Another flower, thread. Another flower, thread. Like that. Here, so many nucleosomes. Again, it wrapped. Again, DNA is here, H1, H1. So, it is nothing but beads on a string. String is nothing but DNA, and these are called beads. Beads are nothing but nucleosome, my dear students. Now, I think beads on a string, which is nothing but chromatin. Then question comes, sir, according to our studies, DNA is having a structure of 2 nanometers width, 20 angstroms, 2 nanometers width. This DNA of 2 nanometers width, when it forms beads on a string, it develops into 2 nanometers it develops into 10 nanometers by folding. Now, between two nucleosomes, this is called wrapped DNA. This DNA between two nucleosome 1, nucleosome 2, nucleosomes like this. This is called linker DNA or spacer DNA. Spacer DNA, it varies from species to species. In the nucleosome, that is the amount of DNA which is wrapped over the nucleosome histone is, when they have counted 200 base pairs of DNA is wrapped, and here histone 1 protein which will give support to the DNA to fix. Again linker DNA, again another H1 protein, linker DNA. So this is called the compaction of DNA. 2 nanometers gradually develops into 10 nanometers, and it undergoes again folding, coiling, which is called solenoid model, becomes a structure of, it consists of 30 nanometers, gradually further coils to form 300 nanometers, and finally it becomes in the form of a structure called 700 nanometers, which is called chromatid, a single chromatid. So the process of compaction or folding is like this, and as and when it is going to the higher levels to become chromosomes, some other structures, non-histone chromosomal proteins. So when they enter into this, non-histone chromosomal proteins are responsible for compaction or folding or coiling. There are various types: structural non-histone chromosomal proteins, functional non-histone chromosomal proteins, and regulatory non-histone chromosomal proteins. Structural, functional, regulatory. So various types of non-histone chromosomal proteins are involved in the further compaction of, and finally it develops into a chromosome with two chromatid joined together. The chromosome now consists of 1400 nanometers. It means, if we come from the back, if we take the chromosome and pull, if we take the chromosome into consideration and pull, we will get one chromatid of 700 nanometers. If we pull this, we are going to get chromatin structures 300 nanometers. When we pull 30 nanometers, when we pull 10 nanometers, when we see 2 nanometers. So DNA is small, microscopic. So nucleosome is a submicroscopic structure. Submicroscopic structure that is found in the nucleus, which is appear like chromatin reticulum. A chromatin reticulum is made up of string-like and beads. And when we observe what are these string-like and beads, DNA is coiled over the proteins, and all these are adjusted.
solenoid, super solenoid structure of chromosome. If we pull this chromatid, we'll pull chromatin 330 nanometers, 10 nanometers, 2 nanometers. So how many stages are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stages are there where compaction is going on, coiling is going on, packaging is going on around itself. That's why this DNA molecule of 2.2 meters length is able to fix or packaged in the form of a small chromosome, and chromosome is present in the nucleus. So when we compare the size of the nucleus with that of the DNA, DNA is thousands of times greater than the surface area of the nucleus. So being larger, greater, thousands of times greater, even though it is able to fix in the small area of nucleus in eukaryotes, it gives a complex structure, a complex phenomena, a complex observation which was studied. And later, after studying the chromosome structures, Klug got Nobel Prize when he was studying about the chromosomes. For discovering various structures of chromosome. So this is called super solenoid model of DNA packaging. Super solenoid model of DNA packaging. It starts from DNA. DNA means our story of molecular basis of inheritance. DNA is having 20 angstroms, 34 angstroms, 2 nanometers, 3.4 nanometers, every 3.4 nanometers fold, twisted, anti-parallel, backbone, sugar and phosphate, projecting inside into bases, 2 polynucleotide chains, and finally they were found in the nucleus. How? Because by this way they were folded. What is linker DNA or spacer DNA? The DNA found between two nucleosomes. What is H1 protein? The protein outside the core and fixes the DNA to the, it is responsible for the folding of the DNA. And how much amount of DNA is 2000 base pairs. And in a 30 nanometer of chromatin, how many beats are possible? If it, at the rate of 10 means 3 types of, it means 3 into 2, 6, approximately 6 coils of. So a process of packaging, in the starting histone proteins, in the ending non-histone chromosomal proteins. Finally, when our scientists studied, they observed that this chromatin reticulum or chromatin, when it is observed, a net-like structure, it constitutes euchromatin, heterochromatin regions. As discovered earlier by Fuelgen's reaction, Fuelgen test, chromatin is that which attracts the color. So whenever a dye, acetocarmine, acetoarsine is applied, the regions of chromatin, total is chromatin. In this chromatin, some regions after obtaining the dye, light in color, euchromatin, light colored or less stained. I repeat, if you are not able to see, less stained. Stained means colored, light in appearance. And loosely packed. Because here not tightly, it is loosely packed. Euchromatin. Heterochromatin. What are these alternative structures, repeated structures of chromatin? Euchromatin, less stained, light in color, loosely packed. So because of loosely packed, it is not having any fold. So whenever we are going to give color, they will absorb less color when compared to the folding. Whenever folding is there, more color. If you take a thread and make a fold and put like this, wherever folds are there more, it will absorb more color and appear dark. So euchromatin, less stained, light in color, loosely packed, is more active in transcription. In the previous class, we have seen what is transcription. Formation of RNA from the DNA. Means the part of the DNA is able to produce mRNA, messenger RNA, which is able to produce the proteins. So the information of the DNA is given. So here, euchromatin is more effective in transferring the information from the DNA onto the RNA by transcription. More active. So more active genes are there. Transcriptionally more active, loosely packed, light in color, less stained are the characteristic features of euchromatin. Heterochromatin. When we see heterochromatin, highly darkly stained, dark in color, compactly arranged, tightly packed, highly colored, dark, compactly arranged, and less active in transcription. So transcriptionally less active means it is not in a capable position to send this message. So inactive for transcription, or less active or no active for transcription. Whereas euchromatin is more active for transcription. So in the chromatin, which we have seen just now, whenever stain is applied to see DNA or chromatin reticulum, which appears colored based upon this packaging. Wherever loosely packed, less stain. Wherever darkly packed, more stain. Loosely packed, euchromatin, heterochromatin, out of the which is genetically active. Euchromatin is genetically active. Heterochromatin is inactive. And this super solenoid model we have studied in the papers for the years that a long saree, silk saree, a long silk saree of several meters is packed in such a way to keep in a small matchbox. To the best of my knowledge, I heard and have studied, you might have seen this, you might have known this in the news. A large silk saree of several meters is packed in such a way, compactly, and it was kept in a small matchbox. So just imagine what is the size of the silk saree and what is the size of the matchbox. Matchbox is such a small structure in which a large silk saree is, how they might have folded it, how many times they might have folded it. In the same way, super solenoid model where DNA, which is having 2.2 meters of length, is packed in such a way compactly. The reason behind is histone proteins positively charged because of amino acids and DNA because of phosphoric acid negatively charged. Positively charged and negatively charged attract together and wrap to form a structure called nucleosome. And for example, another illustration, another example. Whenever we are going to play kites, kite playing during the month of January, on the occasion of Pongal Eve, Pongal festival, mostly small children, even elders, older people will also play with kites. So kite is, it will fly high in the sky. How? With the help of thread. How much distance thread is? Thread can go up to several meters high in the sky based upon the wind velocity. And when we want to get our kite, we will fold this thread, we will fold the thread in such a way. And whenever that much of lengthy thread, by compaction or folding or coiling, it can brought into a small structure. So the process of packaging is resembles like this in DNA. So DNA packaging, we have finished. Then let us go to DNA is the genetic material. Now they have come for the page number 100. So before that, they have given structure. So in my previous classes, I explained how can you say that DNA is the genetic material. We have seen the experiments of Griffith transformation experiment, transforming principle. After that, we have seen, because there is no conclusion, what is the biochemical nature of the DNA or genetic material. So we went to the second experiment, that is Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, to find out the biochemical nature of the transforming principle. They proved DNA is the transforming principle, but every biologist not convinced because of some other reasons, that RNA is also genetic material. And finally, third experimentation, Hershey and Chase, they experimented with bacteriophage to prove from bacteriophage to the bacteria, whenever a bacteriophage attack a bacteria, from the bacterial phage body, which substance, which chemical substance is entering into the bacteria. And finally, they proved it is DNA which is entering from bacteriophage body into the bacteria. Confirmation, unequivocal proof. And finally, DNA is concluded as the genetic material. Now, my dear students, in the coming topics, we are going to start. If DNA is the genetic material, and if DNA is having all these structures, if DNA is having that structure, helically twisted coil, and it is packed, then what are the criteria or what are the characteristic features of DNA has a genetic to act as a genetic material? Criteria for the DNA to be like a genetic material. So essential criteria and the differences between when DNA also genetic material in organisms, RNA also genetic material in organisms. Then question comes, if DNA and RNA is the genetic material, what is the difference between these two? And out of these two, which is better genetic material? Which is better genetic material? Which is stable genetic material? Which is transmissible genetic material? My dear students, we will see in the next class. All the best.